Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be exploring something kind of different.
Oh,
Yeah, a fascinating take on hypnosis
okay.
and why some hypnotherapists, you know,
hmm
are actually against using scripts.
Really?
Yeah, even for common stuff like helping people quit smoking.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
those pre-written suggestions
Right.
you often hear about.
Yeah.
Could this challenge how we think about how hypnosis works?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Okay.
So our deep dive today
Okay.
is based on the work of Virginie.
Virginie, I'm here.
Yeah, she's a professional hypnotherapist
Okay.
who specializes in advanced conversational hypnosis.
Conversational hypnosis.
Right.
Sounds interesting.
And in her work,
Okay.
she really dives deep into why she thinks relying on scripts,
Hmm.
even the ones labeled advanced,
Right.
might actually be doing more harm than good,
Okay.
especially for things like quitting smoking.
I see.
Okay, so why would a script be a problem for something like quitting smoking?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, Imer's main point is that these scripts,
Okay.
they kind of just hyper-focus on the symptom,
hmm
like don't smoke,
Right.
but they completely miss
Okay.
the underlying reason you might be reaching for that cigarette.
Oh, so she's saying that they're
In the first place,
treating the wrong problem altogether.
that's a great way to put it.
Is that kind of what she's getting at?
It really seems like it.
Wow.
And this resonated with me, because
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
How often do we try to fix things in our lives
Oh, yeah.
by just addressing the surface level?
Yeah, all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like putting a Band-Aid
Oh, yeah.
on a cut without cleaning the wound first.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
I like that.
And you can see how this would apply to a lot of things, too.
Totally.
Yeah. Anxieties, fears,
Mhm.
even chronic pain.
Hmm.
If we only focus on that surface behavior, we're probably missing a big piece of the puzzle.
100%.
And Imir really drives this point home
Okay.
with a really powerful analogy.
Right.
She says that
Oh.
treating just the symptom
Mm-hmm.
might bring some temporary relief,
Right.
but without getting to that root of the issue,
Mm-hmm.
clients can end up feeling like they're stuck in this revolving door,
Yeah.
coming back for session after session, but never truly making any progress.
Right. And that would be
Yeah.
so frustrating
It's exactly.
to feel like you're just constantly putting out fires, but
Yeah.
never addressing the source of the problem.
And to really illustrate this point,
Okay.
Imer actually took a deep dive
Mm-hmm.
into a typical stock smoking script
Okay.
in her material.
Yeah.
And it was so fascinating to see how she breaks down
Yeah.
the language used and
It-
how it constantly reinforces
Yeah.
the symptom of smoking without ever acknowledging or exploring the
Right.
why behind it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Could you walk me through like some of the specifics?
Yeah. So picture this.
Okay.
You're in a hypnotic trance,
All right.
and the therapist is reading from the script.
Okay.
And they start by saying something like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, you are aware that you've already completely uncovered the underlying cause of your compulsive smoking habit.
Hold on.
You no longer feel the compulsion to smoke at all.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Right off the bat.
right.
That's making some pretty big assumptions.
I know.
It's claiming that the underlying cause has been addressed.
Yeah,
But how could that be true?
exactly.
If the script itself never actually
Right.
delves into what that cause might be.
That's exactly what I thought.
Okay, so...
And it gets
So-
even more interesting.
Oh, really?
The script continues by saying, we are now only dealing with a habit problem.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're trying to simplify
Yeah.
this incredibly complex thing
Right.
into this neat little box labeled habit.
And that's where I think the danger lies.
Right.
Because
yeah.
if it were truly
Yeah.
just a habit
Right.
breaking, it would be
Nice.
much easier,
Yeah.
right? There's something much deeper
Yeah.
driving that behavior.
Absolutely.
And that's what's missing
100%.
from this scripted approach.
It almost feels like
Yeah.
the script is trying to convince both the client
Mm.
and the therapist that it's simple
Yeah.
and that once you remove the habit,
Uh-huh.
everything will just fall into place.
But Imir argues
Yeah.
it's not just about this specific script, right?
Right.
She says that any script,
Mhm.
no matter
Yeah.
how advanced it claims to be,
Right.
will inherently fall into this trap
Yeah.
if it's solely focused on
Yeah.
the act of smoking.
Yeah. And she even mentions in her work that she often uncovers deeper emotional issues
Okay.
driving the smoking habit,
Right.
like unresolved grief,
Wow.
feelings of inadequacy,
Yeah.
or even just a need for control.
That's interesting.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we all know
Yeah.
emotions are powerful triggers
Right.
for certain behaviors.
Totally.
It'd be really interesting to hear more about
Yeah.
how she connects those
Yeah.
emotional factors
Yeah.
to a smoking addiction.
So in her own practice,
Okay.
Imir says she rarely, if ever,
Mm-hmm.
directly addresses smoking itself
Wow, really?
with her clients.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
All right.
Because her approach
Okay.
is completely different.
Okay.
It's more about getting to the core
Okay.
of why that individual smokes.
So instead of just
Yeah.
handing someone
Yeah.
a pre-written solution,
Uh-huh.
she's kind of more like a guide, helping them to uncover their
Yeah,
own
well,
answers.
It's like she's a detective
Oh, but-
working with the client to uncover the clues
Right.
hidden within their own
Mhm.
experiences, emotions,
Yeah.
and thought patterns.
It sounds like a very different approach.
It is.
That's cool.
It's about understanding the why
Uh-huh.
before trying to change the what.
I see.
And she has a name for this approach.
Oh, really?
Advanced Conversational Hypnosis.
Okay, I'm really curious
Yeah.
to learn more about this advanced conversational hypnosis.
To get into that,
Yeah.
let's take a closer look
Okay.
at what Imir found
Mm-hmm.
when she analyzed
Oh.
that typical stop smoking script.
Okay. So you were telling me about
Oh, yeah.
Imir's analysis
Yeah.
of that stop smoking script.
So after that initial statement
Okay.
about the underlying cause supposedly being uncovered,
Right, right.
the script goes on to talk about breaking habits, becoming aware of smoking, but the word smoking,
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Grill?
It's like a broken record,
Wow.
constantly reinforcing the very thing you're trying to get away from.
That seems counterproductive.
It's like,
Yeah, it's almost like the script
yeah.
is contributing to the obsession with smoking
Oh, totally.
by constantly bringing it to the forefront of your mind.
And that's precisely what Imir is getting at.
Yeah.
This script, even though it's labeled advanced,
Right.
is totally fixated on the surface.
Right.
It's like telling someone with a fever
Right.
to just stop sweating
Yeah.
without addressing the underlying infection. You're not dealing with the root of the problem.
And I think this speaks to a larger issue
Yeah.
with scripted approaches in general.
Oh, good.
It's like
Yeah.
they treat everyone with the same
Yeah.
generic solution,
Right.
assuming that one size fits all.
Right. One size fits all.
But human behavior is so much more complex
Absolutely.
than that.
Yeah, we're all unique individuals with our own stories, experiences, and motivations.
Yeah, and so it makes sense
Yeah.
that this one-size-fits-all approach
Mm-hmm.
would have limited effectiveness.
And that's what I find so compelling
Okay.
about Imir's approach.
Yeah.
Instead of relying on these pre-written scripts,
Uh-huh.
she advocates for this in-depth investigative process
Okay.
to uncover the true root cause.
I see.
You know, it's about understanding why that particular person smokes,
Right.
what need it fulfills for them, what emotions are tied to it.
It's like she's saying,
Yeah.
hey, let's put the script aside for a minute
Yeah.
and actually listen
Yeah.
to what your subconscious is trying to tell you.
And that's where the power of the hypnosis comes in.
Right.
Once you've identified the core issue,
Uh-huh.
then you can use these hypnotic techniques to address it directly.
Totally.
You're not suppressing the symptom.
Right.
You're working on the underlying problem.
Exactly.
So, for example,
Right.
imagine someone who smokes to cope with stress.
Mm-hmm.
A script might tell them to resist the urge,
Right.
but that doesn't do anything to address
Exactly.
the stress itself.
And in that scenario,
Right.
Imir's method would involve
Right.
exploring the source of the stress
Yeah.
and then using hypnosis to help the person
Right.
develop
Wow.
healthier
Yeah.
coping mechanisms.
Exactly.
It's about empowering the individual
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
lasting changes.
Right. Not just temporary fixes.
He's not providing
Yeah.
temporary fixing.
So instead of just putting a Band-Aid on the problem,
Exactly.
you're actually addressing
Right.
the wound itself. This advanced conversational hypnosis
Yeah.
really seems to be about
Mm.
getting to the heart of the matter.
That's a great way to put it.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think this is where we can really start to delve into what makes this approach so unique.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Okay.
So tell me,
Yeah.
what does this advanced conversational hypnosis
Okay.
actually look like in practice?
Well, it's not just about a therapist hypnotizing you
Right,
and simply giving you suggestions.
right.
It's a much more
That's such a-
collaborative process.
All right.
Imir uses a combination
Okay.
of deep questioning,
Mm-hmm.
active listening,
Mm-hmm.
and hypnotic techniques
Oh,
to guide the client on this journey
all right.
of self-discovery.
So it's like a partnership
Yeah, I thought
between the therapist and the client
a partnership.
working together to uncover those hidden motivations and drivers.
Exactly. It's about peeling back the layers,
Okay.
exploring past experiences,
Uh-huh.
uncovering the underlying beliefs and emotions
Okay.
that are driving the behavior.
So it sounds like
Think of it like detective work,
right.
but instead of searching for clues
Yeah.
at a crime scene,
Right.
you're exploring the landscape of
Yeah.
your own subconscious mind.
It sounds like
Yeah.
therapy and hypnosis are kind of intertwined in this approach.
Yeah.
They're not separate steps.
That's a great observation.
Okay.
And I think that's a really
Yeah.
powerful
Mhm.
shift in perspective.
Okay.
Hypnosis isn't just some magic wand
Right.
you wave to make symptoms disappear.
Yeah.
It's a tool to access
Right.
the subconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
to gain insights,
Uh-huh.
and to facilitate change at a deeper level.
So it's about understanding the language
Yeah,
of your subconscious
exactly.
and learning how to communicate with it
Uh-huh.
more effectively.
Yeah, and this is where those conversational elements
Okay.
come into play.
So tell me more
Yeah,
about how this conversational aspect unfolds
right.
during a session. So how does this conversational element unfold during a session?
So it's similar in the sense that there's
Uh-huh.
not a back and forth dialogue,
Okay.
but the therapist is using
Hmm.
specific language patterns
Okay.
and techniques
Uh,
to help bypass your conscious mind
right.
and tap into
Okay.
those deeper levels
Right.
of your subconscious.
So it's not just chatting.
Right.
There's a method.
Yeah, there's a specific
Method.
method to the conversation.
Okay.
And that's where the real artistry
Yeah.
of Imir's approach comes in.
Oh, okay.
She uses a blend of metaphors,
Mm-hmm.
storytelling,
Okay.
and carefully crafted questions
All right.
to guide you on this journey
Yeah.
of self-exploration.
It's like you're unraveling a mystery,
Yeah, it's almost like
but the mystery is you.
you're unraveling a mystery, but the mystery is you.
I like that.
Yeah.
It seems like a much more empowering approach
Right.
than just passively
Yeah.
receiving suggestions
Right.
from a script.
It is.
Okay.
Because it's not about the therapist fixing you.
Right.
It's about you gaining a deeper understanding of yourself
Yeah. Right.
and then using that awareness
Okay.
to create
Yeah.
real and lasting change.
It's almost like the script itself
Right.
becomes a crutch.
That's a good point.
Yeah. A crutch
For both the therapist and the client.
for both.
Yeah.
Yeah. The therapist
Mm.
might feel more comfortable
Yeah.
sticking to a script.
Right.
But it could prevent them
What?
from really connecting with the client
Right.
and understanding their unique needs.
Okay.
And for the client,
Yeah.
relying on a script
Right.
might create a sense of dependency
Yeah.
instead of empowering them
Mhm.
to take control of their own change.
So we talked a lot about
Yeah.
what Imir doesn't do,
Right.
but what about what she does do?
Okay.
What does this investigative approach
Right.
look like in practice? So from what I gather, it's a
Yeah.
very collaborative process.
Okay.
She uses a combination of deep
Mhm.
questioning,
Okay.
active listening,
Uh-huh.
and hypnotic techniques
Right.
to guide the client on this
Okay.
journey of self-discovery.
It sounds almost like
Yeah.
therapy and hypnosis
Uh-huh.
are kind of intertwined.
Because like we said before,
Yeah.
not separate steps.
And that's a pretty powerful shift.
It is a very
Yeah,
powerful
hypnosis.
shift in perspective.
Right. Hypnosis isn't just a magic wand
Yeah, it's not just a magic wand.
to make the symptoms disappear.
You wave and make symptoms disappear.
It's a tool
Right.
to access the subconscious mind,
To access the
to
subconscious,
gain insight,
gain insights,
and to really facilitate change
and facilitate change at a deeper level.
at a deeper level.
Right.
So let's bring this back to our listeners.
Yeah.
What does this deep dive into hypnosis and scripts
Right.
mean for you?
Mm.
What can you take away from this conversation?
So if you're thinking about
Yeah.
trying hypnotherapy
Yeah.
for anything,
Right.
whether it's smoking
Mm-hmm.
or something else,
Yeah.
I think it's crucial to find a therapist
Okay.
who resonates with this approach.
Right. Who's really willing to.
Someone who's willing to go
Yeah.
beyond the surface
Mm-hmm.
to understand your story
Right.
and to work with you
Yeah.
to uncover the root cause
Yeah.
of your challenges.
And even beyond therapy,
Right.
I think this conversation invites us
Yeah.
to look at our own habits and challenges
Yeah.
with a more curious and compassionate
Mhm.
lens, you know,
Yeah.
instead of just trying to force ourselves to change.
Right.
What if we asked ourselves, Why do we do this?
Right.
What need is this behavior fulfilling? What could be the deeper story
Exactly.
behind it?
That's a powerful question
Yeah.
to leave our listeners with. It's about moving from a place of judgment and self-criticism to a place of understanding and self-exploration.
That's a great way to put it.
Who knows what insights you might uncover
All right.
along the way.
That's all for this week's deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next time.